Hi, everyone. All right, cool. Hi, so my name is Olivier. I'm co-founder of Exclusible. And so in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to walk you through different trends, concepts, use cases that brands and corporations use when they enter the Metaverse and Web3. But first, I'm going to start by explaining quickly who we are at Exclusible. So we are a Web3 studio specialized in both NFTs and Metaverse experiences. We always like to say that we redefine the future of immersive engagement. So we bring global brands into the Metaverse. We have worked with Coty, Hublot, also Hugo Boss, McDonald's. And we've done many, many NFT projects from Lanvin, Christophe, Shiseido, Alpine, and many more. So either NFT projects for sale, but also free means as a mean to engage with communities. So let's talk about NFTs first, okay? The way we see NFTs as a technology, for us, it's a new channel for community and engagement. It's the next source of inspiration for brands and fashion. It is today what streetwear was maybe 15 years ago for the luxury industry. And I always like to separate the culture aspect of Web3 and the technology. From a cultural point of view, the NFT technology has given power to millions of creative talents around the world and artists. It gave them a platform to showcase their art, platforms like OpenSea and many more. It gives them a way to monetize their art, get royalties in perpetuity. And so that's why it created this huge influx of art and design and creativity. From Web3, we have seen new kind of brands coming to life. It's a new archetype of brands, community first, digital first, hyper creative. And the massive difference is that they don't have any type of restrictions when it comes to segments, products, or industries. Doodles, Yuga, artifacts, pudgy penguins, they can go into fashion, merch, media, entertainment, songs, music, you name it. They have absolutely no restriction. And they monetize and they grow value for their community over time. And then obviously we have digital fashion, which is a massive opportunity for brands, both as a new revenue stream, but also a new way to engage with customers or fans, leveraging the Metaverse or video game platforms. So we've all been there, bull market, bear market. So in our opinion, that's kind of where we stand. I think the bear market has been very good, unpopular opinion. I call it the Darwinism of Web3. It has taken out of the market a lot of bad actors, a lot of people who were in Web3 for the wrong reasons. And now it's only the builders and people with a vision in every dimension of Web3. And so we are slowly but surely building concrete use cases for the technology. And a lot of speculators are out of the game, which I think is beneficial, at least from our point of view, because we work with brands and corporations. 3 buckets. We like to use these categories to define the type of NFT projects that we can work on, or at least the objectives from a brand point of view. So the first one, you can do an NFT collection to drive revenue. If you are a brand or a corporation and you want to do that, come talk to me afterwards, because I'm going to give you the hard truth about selling NFTs. You can do it, you can make money doing it, but it's not for the faint of heart. It requires very strong and long commitment that a lot of brands are not aware of or are not ready to do. We are developing more and more use cases around free NFTs that become a marketing tool, and you have so many different use cases, from digital fashion, talk about like skins, wearables, digital twins, loyalty, points and rewards, access, so it's everything that's token gated, from giving access to chats, to discounts, to experiences, Community, of course, building a community through NFT technology is kind of at the core of Web3. And then proof of attendance, proof of proximity, proof of experience, proof of anything you want. And then the last use case is provenance. So that's not something we do. We have our good friends at Ariane and many other companies that are very good at doing that. So anything that gives you information about the product that you buy, sourcing, authenticity, circularity, and all the good applications of blockchain technology. So as I said, for us, Web3 and the Metaverse, it's a new marketing channel that should be considered and added into the toolkit of any CMO. We see that we're moving away from advertising and we're going into entertainment. We're moving away from ads and it's more of storytelling and it's a narrative. The content is much more engaging. It becomes much more immersive, especially when then you go into immersive experiences or video games or metaverse platforms. We move away from customers or followers and we go into community. It's a two-way dialogue, which does not happen on social media platforms like Instagram and any of these platforms. A lot of brands think that they have a community, but they don't. They have followers who don't really share their true opinion, and when they do and it's bad, usually the discussion quickly moves away to another platform. It's an opportunity to co-create with your community. Think about DAOs, think about voting rights, access, token-gated chats. A brand can include their community in the influence, in the co-creation of future products, of future decisions. And finally, we move away from sales or a transactional type of experience. We go into more aspirational and experiential type of relationship. So that was our point of view on NFTs. Now, Metaverse. So I'm going to explain some basic concepts, but I think it's always important to frame the discussion about what the Metaverse is and what it is not. Okay? So for us, we see it as the natural evolution of social media. Think about 20 years ago and before, advertising was pretty traditional, from print to TV to radio, billboards, etc. Then 2005, social media came around, and then we started talking about creators, content, followers, interaction, some type of beginning of a dialogue or a relationship with brands. Now, the natural evolution goes into video gaming, okay? And it's about immersive 3D virtual experiences where you can still have content, you can still have your social interaction, you can have all your community engaged, usually for a much, much longer time in these virtual experiences. A very important point, nothing replaces anything, okay? Retail stores are not dead, and I come from retail. Traditional social media are not dead, extremely far from it. Everything that I'm talking about is simply an addition to your toolkit. It's not a replacement. All right, so then in terms of landscape, if we have brands in the audience or corporations that are asking or wondering how to tap into the metaverse, here are some key concepts. So you have different platforms. First, the biggest ones are video game platforms. They are not Web3. They don't have NFTs. Fortnite, Roblox, Zepeto. Roblox has the ability to create the same concept as an NFT. They launched this new feature called Limited, where you can release limited edition skins and wearables. So by default, it acts almost as an NFT because it has scarcity, but there's no blockchain. Then you have another type of metaverse platforms, which are Web3 land-based platforms. Decentralized, Sandbox, to name the two biggest ones. And they are blockchain-based. If you want to build your experience or have an experience in there, you have to either buy land or rent land, and then you have to build on top of it, or you can rent an existing space. You can connect with an email address, but the experience is better if you connect with your MetaMask, because you can then have coins to purchase stuff, and then you can collect stuff in the experience. Then the third aspect is immersive multiplayer 3D. leveraging video game engines, and you can either use external platforms to build your experience. Can be Web3, doesn't have to be Web3. And you can also decide to create that same experience on your website as a white label and deploy it through a white label platform. And finally, bottom right, custom tech. These technologies have been around for a long time. WebGL and others that create some type of immersive experience, but it's not necessarily leveraging any type of platform. By the way, immersive stores have been around for a long time. Before we started talking about the Metaverse, Ralph Lauren, Dolce & Gabbana, they've had virtual stores as early as like 2018 or 19. Then on the tech side, that's what you need to know. The two biggest video game engines, Unity and Unreal Engine 5. Most experiences are built using these graphic engines. Unreal Engine 5 is known as kind of the one that gives you the best quality. Sometimes you actually don't know if you're looking at a photo or like some realistic landscape or place. You don't know, you cannot make the difference between the reality and the video game. But it also comes at a cost because you have to pay pixel streaming per user per minute. So that's why a lot of brands like Clinique, for example, built on Journée. Journée is one of the most famous Unreal Engine 5 Metaverse platforms. And most often than not, experiences open for a certain period of time and then they close just because brands are not ready to pay money every time there is a user in their experience. At the bottom, we have WebGL, which again is a technology that's been around for a long time. Our good friends at Renault have used this technology to build their immersive experience. It can be multiplayer, that's very interesting. So you can have multiple people in the same experience, it's high quality graphic, and it lives on the website of the brand. And then finally, what I call hybrid, it's, for example, the Lacoste experience that has been built by Imperia, which is more of a photosphere. So you have high quality pictures that are collated together to create almost like a 360 sphere. It gives you the impression that you are in an immersive experience, but it's actually static and you move from point A to point B, and there's an animation that makes you feel that you're progressing through a space, but it's not a true immersive experience. But it looks great, and it had great conversion. I know that Lacoste was very happy with their experience. A little side note on video games. So the biggest, what I call metaverse platforms, are video games. We're talking about millions and millions of users every day. Roblox has about 66 million daily users. Zepeto, Fortnite, Minecraft. You can generate revenue, you can create, gamify your experiences. We think that video gaming is a huge opportunity for brands. I think the numbers are 3 billion people play video games every day. 44% of these people are women, and there's a nice distribution throughout age groups. On Roblox, so a lot of brands have done experiences, and I encourage every single brand to look at Roblox and to build something there. Burberry, NARS, Tommy Hilfiger, Alo Yoga has done a fantastic job, and I want to speak about Gucci. I think Gucci has 45 million visitors. On any given time of the day, you can find about 400 people in the Gucci experience. They sell stuff, they sell wearables and skins. And there is also a way that you can bring the users outside of Roblox, bring them to your website or a landing page, ask them to enter their email address, you give them a code, they go back into Roblox, they enter the code to access a special section of the experience, so it's some type of gating. And then in the case of Gucci, you can access the store, so you can buy more rare items that way. So it's a way to collect data and also to generate revenue. The biggest example is Century21. They paid $500 a freelance graphic artist to do a beanie that says Century21, and they have sold $1.5 million worth of beanie. And each beanie was 50 cents. in the Roblox experience. The reason why it's important is because the margin is insane, and it's a way for the users of Roblox to go crazy buying your merchandise that is very cheap, and you are basically capturing the attention first. It's really like a top of the funnel marketing play. You're capturing the attention with the objective to capture the wallet later on. The age groups on Roblox, the majority of users are between 13 and 17 years old. So it's really about recruiting and nurturing a new generation of fans that over time you are going to convert and bring into your stores. A few case studies very quickly. So a lot of brands do partnerships with Web3 projects. It's a really great way to de-risk the entry into Web3. The punks with Tiffany, Gucci and Yuga Labs, Hugo Boss and Imaginary Ones. Some brands have decided to create their own Web3 ecosystem. Adidas with Alts. Adidas has been in it for 2 years. We're doing multiple jobs, immersive experiences, physical products. Like their gameplay is quite impressive. Nike, that they launched Swoosh very recently, and 2 weeks ago Mercedes-Benz announcing their new platform Next. And 2 days ago, Vuitton announcing something that has not been done before. They are launching about a few hundred very expensive NFTs, 39,000 euros. And the NFTs will be SBT, soulbound tokens, cannot be traded. But then it will unlock access to keys. The keys can be traded, and the key, it's a digital twin of a physical product that people will buy. So in a sense, it's a very expensive pass to a very exclusive community that will give access to very exclusive products. On the digital fashion side, we're very bullish on wearables. The concept that you buy a physical product and through QR code and a very easy Web2 onboarding, you can get as a user the digital version of that physical product you just bought. So we helped Lanvin and Level Shoes do that with a wearable for Decentraland. Hugo Boss and Tommy Hilfiger also did the same concept where people can redeem the copy of their physical assets and they can actually equip their Ready Player Me avatar with those digital twins. Or Zara, very interesting concept. Zara has created digital twins of a physical collection, and those twins could be worn in Zepeto. And they also had different type of avatars that people could choose from. In terms of loyalty, the biggest case study so far is Starbucks. They launched their Odyssey loyalty program. It's very interesting. It's only in the US. I'm a member, so I'm playing with it. It's actually 98% Web2 and a tiny touch of Web3, but they call it a Web3 loyalty program. The way it works, basically, you go on 2 journeys. Each journey is broken down in quests. A quest is some type of content, video, pictures, copywriting about the brand, and then they will quiz you. You have to answer questions about the brand or how coffee is made or their new farm in Costa Rica. And then you gain points. And when you complete your journey, you get an NFT, which is called a stamp. And Odyssey actually partnered with Nifty Gateway to manage the entire trading of NFTs. So you can sell, buy, or list your NFT on Nifty Gateway on the Odyssey storefront. And finally, I'm going to finish with this one. So it's a really interesting case study. That's a Metaverse project that we built for Coty. It's an internal Metaverse. It's the best way to de-risk the entry into the Metaverse because this is for employees only, and it's used for many different type of use cases. Town hall meetings, brand presentation, product presentation, education and training. You have quizzes, it's gamified, you can get badges and rewards. And the best thing is that it's internal. So they can derive a lot of feedback and insight from their own employees to get certainty about what to build for the public. So they will learn what works, what doesn't work, and what type of features are more powerful than others. So I think that's a very smart strategy that Coty embarked on. And that's it. Thank you.